Now, the City of Tshwane has temporarily shut down its bus service due to a positive case of COVID-19. Staff are being urged to stay at home. Operations will only resume after all affected depots and buses have been disinfected and deep cleaned. The city's head office, Tshwane House, and the Silverton Fire Station have previously been closed after staff tested positive. Our reporter Lindo Kuhlekulu is in Pretoria to find out more at the bus depot. Lindo, we know there's a meeting taking place at the present moment between the city, the cities in that meeting, and the unions as well. What can we expect from that meeting?
Well, Tony, it is more of an engagement between the parties, which are the unions, the health department, as well as the City of Tshwane, just to get a sense of whether they'll be ready or not in terms of operations tomorrow. But I can tell you that more so happening on the background is the disinfection of some of the buses. We understand that they are done with the disinfecting buildings from this particular bus depot, and what is happening right now is that they are disinfecting some of those buses. There is a truck that's moving around, the disinfecting truck, and we understand that these buses will also be disinfected. The inner part of it, the inside, has been disinfected, and only the outside stands to be disinfected. But Tony, the affected employees, as far as that COVID-19 case is concerned, we understand there are about 20 of the employees that have been told to self-isolate, or rather stay in quarantine. That is because of one case, and because of the tracing, they're saying that 19 of them had to also be stay at home. But I'm with the unions here just to get a sense of what their reaction is to in this particular thing. We are with, of course, SAMU as well as Imatu, just to get a sense of what's happening. And I'll start with you, Ndate Tladinyane. Give us a sense of reaction in terms of what's happening. COVID-19 has always been expected to affect each and every one of us, but do you believe that enough is being done to protect the employees who are obviously working on the front lines per se?
Yeah, we must first start by indicating that we, as unions, we are very worried about the pandemic and also the increase in the numbers of employees who are testing positive in the city. Now, we have agreed as unions that we must, on a regular basis, start doing inspection in locals, make rounds in various depots to see how our employees are doing, so that we are able to advise properly. Now, we were informed of the case in TBS sometime last week, and subsequent to that, we then engaged the employer to say, with regard to the SOP that was agreed between unions and the employer, the depot has to be closed. There must be disinfection of the depot and all those things, including the buses. So we are here just to ensure that indeed the employer is doing what he's supposed to be doing in line with the SOP. But we also worried because only one has tested positive now, employee, but there are 19 others who have had close contact with the positive case. So we're hoping that no, they don't test positive. So we are just waiting for the outcome of their test results so that we can then know what is going to happen. But we must also indicate that in terms of the SOP, once you have closed the building and the building has also been disinfected, we must then be able to ensure that indeed the service is resumed properly. So in terms of our evaluation of the process here, we can only be ready on Tuesday. That means on Monday we will simply inform employees and our members that they must not come on Monday because the employee is not yet ready, is still dealing with the processes in line of the SOP, and service will only resume on Tuesday.
All right, and Darlene Dan from Imatu is also here just to give us a sense of what is happening. As far as your members in your union are concerned, is enough being done in terms of the PPEs being provided? And I'm speaking about this particularly because there is a peak that is expected to hit Gauteng. What is the sense you're getting from some of the workers around what is being provided and what could be done better?
Yes, thank you. Yes, Tshwane is complying regarding the PPE. There is sufficient PPE issued to all the employees, sanitizers. Yes, so Tshwane is really taking care and trying their best to assist our members, and they do comply. And we did the assessment this morning with Mpu as Labour. They do comply, and they're moving. They're moving on it to resume on Tuesday, because their concern is also the commuters that needs to get to work and back.
And that concern is obviously now being, also burdened by the fact that the taxis as well have their own problems, and the fact that it might not be operating tomorrow is a concern for many of the people in Tshwane. But maybe just as a parting shot, the question around your employees returning to work. You said that you're anticipating that it might be Tuesday. But what is it that's going to satisfy you to say that they must indeed return on Tuesday? I don't know, any one of you can.
Yeah, no, remember that we have agreed on an SOP with the employer to say once there is a positive case in a particular depot or building, there are certain steps that must be done. Now, our responsibility as Labour is to ensure that the employer sticks to whatever that we have agreed on, including the process that you have seen happening here in TBS. Is actually what we have agreed on. So we believe that before we can advise employees and workers to come on Tuesday or not, it must be us first who come here, assess the level of readiness, so that we can then properly inform our members whether it is safe or it is not safe. We can't just bring members without us having seen how the environment is. So our responsibility is to come, assess the environment, and be able to provide proper guidance.
All right. Thank you so much to both of you, Imatu as well as SAMU representatives, just giving us a sense of what is happening here, saying that they are seeing that the process is being followed, but nevertheless that still does not satisfy them that they'll be able to resume operations tomorrow, saying that they can only confirm that tomorrow, so only on Tuesday is then that they can give a go-ahead to some of their employees, some of their members to come back to work. But Tony, that of course leaves a vacuum for many of those commuters in and around Tshwane, as there is uncertainty around the taxi industry, and more so now they do know that these buses will not be operating tomorrow, certainly leaving a vacuum here, Tony.
Yes, indeed. You're 100% correct. Huge vacuum. We will hear from the taxi industry at about 3 p.m. this afternoon. They're reporting for us from the city of Tshwane.